Good afternoon, welcome to the channel. Truck's running, trailer's hooked up. You know what that means? It's another full-size Ford rescue. Today, we're headed down to Grandview, Washington to check out a 1960 Ford Galaxie Starliner. Last tabbed in 1995. It is a Y code. It's 352 4-barrel. Hypo car? Probably not. You can see from the data tag that it did have a 291 open rear gear. Most people that order a hypo car would not order that gear. And I could tell from the pictures that were sent that it looked like it had just regular exhaust manifold. So not a hypo car, but still a Starliner and worth saving nonetheless. I agreed to buy it sight unseen. So let's get on the road and get down there and see what we've gotten ourselves into. Stop for some fuel real quick. Get some air in the old trailer tires. About 15 pounds low. Hadn't really checked them in a while. Look at, we put a pretty heavy car on here, so better check that out. I'm pretty excited about this Starliner. If you go back and watch way back in one of our earlier videos, we did a video on the 60 Starliner that we already own, and it's actually an orchid gray, and this one is blue, it appears, but looking at the paint code, it appears it was originally orchid gray, which is really cool. So excited about that. On our way. Rolling up through the Yakima Valley here. The hills are starting to turn green. Spring rains. And we're about, it says we're about 15 minutes away from our destination. So, yeah. I always start getting a little nervous at this time to see what this car is going to look like. It's always kind of a crapshoot when you're buying something sight unseen, but we'll hope for the best. Okay, so it looks like this is our exit. Maybe been through here a time or two, but I've never been to Grandview, so. Rich agricultural land out here. Take the second exit. So I'm guessing I don't go that way. I'm guessing I go this way. Alright, these roundabouts, man, they're confusing. Sometimes I have to go in the circle 6 or 7 times to figure out where I'm going. This is like hops, isn't it? It says Ale Xander. It's like they're growing hops. Oh, trailer came off again. There's a 60 Chevy fleet side, 3/4 ton. All right, get close. Oh, for all you square body lovers, there you go. It's a GMC custom. Oh, I see it right there.
Oh, yep.
I'm seeing a Starliner. I think I'm gonna pull this way and then back over there. It's on dollies. Ooh, I like it already. It looks like it's ready to launch. Boy, this guy's got something going on here. That thing got a Hemi in it? Oh, I guess it does. It says right on the fender.
This looks like your kind of neighborhood. There's like 30,000 cars.
I see hot rods. Yeah.
Each house has like 6 or 7.
Yeah. So we've arrived at the location. Just get a quick view of it real quick. She definitely needs some work. Looks like the dash is still intact though. Radio hasn't been cut out. That's yay. That's a yay. Missing a lot of trim. But honestly, the body doesn't look that bad. We have another bumper. Oh, it's a cat. It's a kitty. Got the trim on it. So let's find the owner here and let's make a deal. All right. So we got a couple broken lug studs there to deal with. We work on Subarus at work all day. We know a thing or two about lug studs, don't we?
Yeah. They break a lot. On Subarus. Look, the tire's inflating.
Yeah. It's a self-inflator. It's a little bit nicer than last Edsel we picked up in Vegas, huh? When it was 105.
Yeah, a little hot.
Ready. There you go. So you haven't tried to take these nuts off yet?
No,
Okay.
I let them sense the penetration. Oh,
Came off?
That one came on. We got one off. That's good enough. That's good enough to get it home. That's like the country squire he got in the back pasture, and he has one lug nut on there.
Even better, you got 2 now.
See, we only have 3 leaf springs back here. If this was actually a hypo car, there'd be extra leaves there.
Ah.
You ever heard of Stan the Ford man?
No, I haven't heard of him before.
He's over in Battleground.
Oh, so he's around here too.
Yeah, he's 82, but he has a bunch of these cars and parts. We were just at his place, what, a couple weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look,
Got a window.
Yep.
Nice.
He's 82 and sharp as a tack. Still building cars. But he's got a 61 Starliner that's got 18,000 original miles on it.
How many? 18?
18,000. It's original 390 car, but he's put a 427 in it.
That's loud. Kitten ran away.
Does he still have the original engine for that car?
What's that?
Does he still have the original engine?
I think, yeah, he still has the original 394. It was a 390 tri-power car.
It was a 60 what?
61 Starliner.
What was the engine for 61 to get?
That was the best one you could get was the 390 with the 3 2 barrels, 401 horsepower.
3 2-barrels?
Yep.
Also, it's like a what Ford's called 6-packs and
Yeah.
tri sixes or what they call it, tri-powers.
Tri-power.
Is it what that's Ford's version of it?
Yep. And those cars, if you ordered one from Ford back then, it came with a 4-barrel on it, and the intake and the carbs were in the trunk, and the dealer installed them at the dealership.
Oh, so it came with 2 Fords.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes me a little bit happier that you guys are grabbing this because you guys know how to do it. Otherwise, a buddy of mine wanted to turn it into a lowrider, but it wouldn't.
No. I mean, to each their own, but
He's a Chevy fan. He said I'm not a Ford fan, so he wasn't really into it. but that's what it probably became.
I was afraid you were going to say derby car. Then I was going to be ready to fight somebody.
No derby car. It's lowrider. But he doesn't hold things for more than a week.
I used to think anything over a 64 Galaxie. My first Galaxie was a 64. I used to think anything over, when they went to 65 and the stacked headlights, I'm like, oh, they ruined those cars. They're ugly, but now I love them. Oh, we made it. We're on the home stretch now. Thank you, sir. A little bit too
cramped?
Yep. I could. I don't think that'll go any higher. We got another, I think he said he had another jack. I might need to just jack the axle up a little bit.
Oh, okay. You want to ask him?
Yeah. Come here. Might be able to slip it under there. I'm so close. I'm like only like an inch away. I'm gonna pull down on the handle of that jack and see if it just goes up a smidgen. The other thing I could do is let the air out of the tire, and I think it's already extended all the way.
Yep, I think so.
I am so close. Yeah, we just need to jack the axle up about a ½ inch.
I think we might need your
Yeah, we just
jack.
might need a jack.
This one's
I'm about a
not
½
quite
inch away from the
tall
wheel
enough.
sliding on. Jack the axle up just a smidgen. This will be perfect. Go right under the. I'll go right under the housing here and. Yep. That's all I needed right there. Just about that much.
Power window's pretty rare in these cars.
Power windows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see very many with it. Most people don't want them because they never work.
Well, we don't know about these. We know what I do. We know the motor turns over.
Yeah, the motor turned over on it. There wasn't water in the oil.
Oh, yeah. It sure is a power window car.
Now it's on 4 round tires.
Yep. Now she should be good to load.
Oh, those are even white walls. Looking pretty snazzy. As a little kid, I got in a car crash with my grandparents in their '62 Ford Galaxie.
Oh, really?
Right over here, a couple miles away, and they hit us about 50 miles an hour right here, and it didn't total the car. They just put a new fender on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Remember, I shook the crap out of my grandma. Then we didn't get to go to town. That was on a Wednesday, and that's the only time they went to town was on Wednesdays.
Sale day.
Sale day.
For us, it was Tuesday growing up. Lucky number Tuesday at Weimar.
Hi, Mark.
I'm guessing is she in neutral?
They rolled, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fat.
Wait on me, huh?
You got a t-shirt.
Yep.
You must be into them.
So this is our second one of these 60s, and then I got a 60 Edsel. a two-door hardtop also, which has the same roof and everything.
They put different motors in them, didn't they?
Same motors.
Same motors?
Yep. By 1960, the Edsel was just basically a rebadged Ford, but they only built them because they had to avoid being sued. Nope, the horse collar was gone, and everybody says they just ripped off the '59 Pontiac. And
oh.
You have one with the horse collar.
Yeah, we have a '58 too. Last tabbed in 1967.
Oh wow. A lot easier, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be about three sets in.
That 62 Galaxie we got in Salem, that thing had 2 rotten tires on the front that wouldn't hold air. The left rear drum was rusted the shoes were rusted to the drum, so we had to drag it with the come along.
And it's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Out of the
That's
mud.
probably the worst car load I've ever had.
Wasn't it also buried in the
What?
mud? In
No,
the
it was
dirt?
on a slab. We had to move his like 30 years worth of accumulated stuff out from around it to get it out.
Ah.
It's kind of nice. Suburbs.
This is like the one in Vegas. He had it right in front of his house on the street.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I moved my truck. Truck blocking this in for. Yeah, you probably get there.
These cars are a little wide.
Somebody told me.
Right up.
There you go.
Well,
Did it bump you or? You have a little bit of weight in the front there? Tip her down?
Still got a little more. She's gonna get there.
Right
She's
on
almost balancing. Perfect.
Good? Okay.
Awesome. So we got her all loaded up. Sorry, I'm a little nasally, been battling a cold all week. We're here in Sunnyside, Washington now. Gonna stop and grab a little food, a little grub at the Snipes here. Check this out. Just do a kind of a quick walk around on this. I see most of the emblems are gone. Originally, like I say, this car was orchid gray, according to the paint code. Looks like it had a spotlight at one point. Interior, pretty roached. You'll notice though, you can probably see there, that this was, or is, a power steering car. Or not a power steering car, a power window car. Sorry, I can't even talk. Most of the side glass is broken. The wind wing's okay. Both of these pieces are broken. But the body, surprisingly, is pretty good. A little dent right there. The trim covers that anyway. You have that stainless trim on there. I don't know if there's anything in the trunk. This piece can be very hard to find. The Starliner with the lock is part of the S. But, I mean, rocker panels, quarter panels, you've got maybe just a little bit blistering starting to form there, but a lot of times these are rotting out behind where that stainless goes. But this body's actually pretty clean. This window's good. We have a good window. 2 good wing windows, a little bubbling on it, but side glass, we can get that. Windshield's toast. Like I say, Starliner emblems are missing. Front bumper's not bad. Hood's rotted through here. Not looking good there. So. Oh, these hoods weigh a ton. Yeah, hood is completely rotten. It's a power brake car. 352 Y code 4 barrel. Yeah, I thought maybe, hey man, this might be a hypo car, but he did FaceTime me and did a quick walk around. You can kind of see some remnants of the orchid gray on the firewall. Yeah, definitely the gratuitous rot in the battery tray, normal. Got the Ford stamped valve covers, yellow, black block, I think. Definitely critters been living in here. Power steering car, power brakes. Definitely gonna have to figure out these hood hinge springs. I'd say all of the emblems and the trim is missing. This one had some kind of ornament up on the hood right here, which I think was optional. Both of the gun sights are broken off. Again, very common. Might have to see Stan the Ford man for some more stuff. But all in all, she's pretty solid. I think I think it'll work for us. So, well, time to go in and get some grub. All right, so just a quick stop, bathroom break. About 30 miles south of Ritzville. Check the straps, everything's tight. Liner's looking good. Quick bathroom stop and on the road back to Spokane. All right, so back home on a gorgeous day. It's gonna be like mid upper 70s today in April. It's pretty awesome. We got home late, wasn't able to really get any footage of this. We got home late. It was like 1 in the morning. Haven't really had a chance to do anything with this since. Had to immediately go to work the next morning. So let's work on getting this off the trailer, get it back down on the ground, and kind of check it out a little bit more. We only got a brief glimpse of it the other day. Let's see what we've gotten ourselves into. So far, I know I say I'm crazy, but I kind of like what I see because it's a Starliner. For no other reason that it's a Starliner. So, looks like it's missing quite a bit of trim. Maybe that'll be the side pieces. Maybe that'll be in the trunk. Maybe we'll get lucky. I don't know. I got a feeling I never get that lucky. Usually when there's missing pieces on the car, they're the most obscure and rarest pieces to find. And they're never in the car. So, again, let's unload and start checking this thing out. So a couple things I do want to note before we pull it off the trailer. I noticed that the fuel tank strap was hanging down, and so my first thought was, oh my gosh, no, trunk's so rotted, like my 60 Edsel, that the tank can no longer be supported. But the support bar is intact, it looks like. So it looks like I will be able to actually support a gas tank. Now, above the gas tank, that floor is completely rotted out. Insides of the quarter panels look pretty good, both sides. I like how it has still has its factory exhaust muffler over there, but underneath the car, some really nice long cherry bombs. Is there only one of them, or is there two? Let's look on the other side. I do see some aftermarket Napa shock absorbers. Got the old 9-inch there. This one appears that somebody actually lowered this car. You can look right here and you'll see this block right here is not factory. Somebody actually put a lowering block in this car to lower it down with some longer U-bolts. So we'll address that, get the stance back where it's supposed to be. Some guys will even run them factory and flip these shackles around to give them a little higher stance in the rear. I'm kind of more of like a 70s, 80s street machine kind of guy, so I'm not really into the lowrider thing. So if they did something in the rear, that tells me they probably did something in the front too, which means it probably has cut springs. We'll see if we can address that a little bit. Let's go around to the other side. You see we have the cherry bomb over on that side. We still have the factory muffler right here. Like I say, this was a 352 Y code car, and yeah, just a long exhaust pipe. So they were running a cherry, they split it off and ran a cherry bomb on one side, and then we're running it through the stock muffler on this side. You know, hot rodding on a budget. That's all right. I do like what I see here. I mean, this quarter panel looks really good. It's a little bubbling right here starting. Not too bad, but this is all intact where the holes were for the trim. Got a dent right here. This is covered by that stainless piece. I do see back here, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but right back in here there is a hole. Looks like a rust hole that's hidden by the bumper there. Again, not a huge deal breaker there, but so yeah, let's get a, oh, I already see wasps coming out of it. I already see waspage. So we better get some spray. Actually, I find that brake cleaner actually works better than wasp spray. Brake cleaner, just the wasp spray, they die like this slow agonizing death. Hit them with brake cleaner and they're just instantly dead. So yeah. All right, let's get her off the trailer. Driveway goes uphill, so it's always fun getting them started. Huh. Probably should have done that lever first on the trailer. There's wasps in there, I don't want to press that one. Man, she's getting back there and the trailer's not tilting. What's going on? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's what's going on. Like I said, nobody here ever claimed to be a professional. You have one. The other one's broken out. She had the gun sights though. I need to find a couple more of those. I think I have one pair for my other car. So these old chrome spokers here was what was bolted on the car, and then I think he said what he thought was the original spare, but I know it's not the original spare tire. Could be the wheel. This old E7814 would definitely not have been the size for this car. The 14-inch wheel would be correct. This would be more like probably like a 775-14 or something like that, 750-14. But apparently there is one more of these chrome, or what used to be chrome spokey wheels in the trunk. I remember selling these tires, these Mega 4s from Hercules in the late 80s, early 90s. 050, 3-digit dot code. Doesn't have the triangle next to it, but they didn't always have the triangle next to them. This is going to be a 1990 date code on this tire. So that's the last time it appears to have had tires put on it. All right. Always one fun game to play with these is figuring out what's in the trunk. It's always a mystery. This is very, very difficult to find. This is Starliner emblem, and we'll have a the trunk lock is incorporated in part of the S right here. The Galaxies said Galaxie right here. The Fairlane 500 said Fairlane. Can't remember if they said 500 or not. That was the base model car. And then the Starliner, actually you can see what's left of the S right there, the indent from it. So these are very difficult to find, this part of the S with the lock. I did find one. The only one I've ever seen for sale I bought. It was $300 used, and it's in okay condition. Like I say, the lock is, I don't have any keys for this car, so, but I think if we pull this up and pull this over, we should be able to get this open. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Well, I'm not seeing any of the missing trim. I'm seeing gravel from my driveway. I see a Goodyear Tiempo on a chrome wheel. I see a lot of rot in the trunk. A lot of rot in the trunk. Get you in there to take a look. That's at first glance. But here you can see the, if you look at the trunk lid actually is not bad, which is very surprising. These are almost always rotted through here. This one looks like it may be savable. But you can see the orchid gray paint. One thing you never want to see, which I almost always see, is this channel full of dirt. Luckily, this car was over by Yakima, Washington, on the reservation apparently, and it's pretty dry over there. Like I say, they do get some snow, but it's a pretty desert, arid climate. So, other than this trunk floor, because it, like I say, it had the mat in it, and the mat, you get condensation in between the mat and the floor, and it just rots it out. So we definitely have that going on. And the pan is not bad. I don't like to see it like this one, when you can see it gets into here. That's going to take a little bit more work to fix, but I've seen worse. This is still intact here, but the pan comes with, I think, pretty much all this around it. I don't know that they make a pan directly for these. They do for the 61 to 64, but they're very similar, so I'm sure there's options. So let's get the Tiempo out of there before it completely falls through the floor. Oh yeah, good old white wall. That tire's seen better days. Let's see what finds we come up with in here. Oh, get that off there. We don't want that to rot through. This is where it's sitting against all this dirt right here. Get all this dirt out of this channel. Flung it right on my camera stand because I'm an idiot. I'm good like that. Here we got a good, ooh, look at that. Napa Fleet. Capacity 1.5 tons. This was made, looks like in the United States. DeCoven Manufacturing Company, Racine, I think that's Wisconsin. Oh, but that doesn't move. You might have to soak this in some some deep creep or something and see if we can get this to free up and see if we can actually make this thing work just for fun. But it's vintage. Let's see what else we can find in here. Here's some part of the trunk mat. Boy, yeah, this trunk floor is bad. We do have the spare. Okay. Got some wheel cylinder cups, because we always want to carry spares ones of those. Ooh, got me another wood block. I'm always up for another wood block. Instant wheel chock for the XL. That looks like an old piece of the mat with actual trunk floor hooked to it. Always more pieces of trunk mat. Let's see, what do we got up here? Oh, we still got a bottle of unknown bottle of probably coolant. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's antifreeze. It's still green. Hang on to that. Plenty of jalopies around here. Oh, look at that. That's a keeper. Oh, it's a hoppy too. It's a hoppy. It's got the brush, the scraper. That's, dude, you can use this to scrape the dirt out of here. There's, you know, this is not just for winter. This is something you can use year round. Look at that. Vintage wire basket. A little rusty, but again, I can't throw it away. Oh, look at that. The original tire iron's still in there. Trunk floor. There's a Rebestos box, what I assume would have originally had these wheel cylinder rebuild kits. This one's been in here so long it looks like the spring has rusted and fell apart. But a lot of the cups are still here though. Some really nice stiff gloves. I think I see people say, hey, yeah, there's just one glove though. What are you gonna do with that? Well, hold on a second. There's another wheel cylinder cup. Look at that. There's the match. Matching pair of gloves. So what I was hoping to find in here, it doesn't appear I'm going to find. I was really hoping to find the missing trim. Every once in a while you'll find parts that have fallen down into the... Ooh, look at that. I mean, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, there's a still working Radiator Specialty Co. Nice little bungee. Probably to keep your gas tank held up against the floor, since there's no trunk floor left here. There's a wasp. There's a wasp in there. What are you doing in there, little dude? You trying to make a house in here? Okay. Some little pieces of rope. Nice coat hanger. Still functional. We got the original nut for the spare hold down. just put it back on the bolt. Don't get lost. Let's take a look at this side over here. That's the stuff I just threw over there. Let's see if there's anything on this side. A bunch of the trunk mat. Bunch of the trunk mat. But not much as far as trim pieces or anything. Maybe we get lucky and they'd be in the glove box, that Starliner lock, but I'm not holding my breath. Get all this dirt out of here. Okay, when it's dirt, when it gets wet and turns to mud and traps moisture in between it and the car, then we start to get this car might have been saved just in time. Still has the bracket for the lock piece, which is cool. Yeah. To dirt, from dirt you came, and to dirt you will return. Okay. Got this channel cleaned out of there. You notice the seal is up on the trunk lid itself. There's just nothing left of that. So obviously the trunk leaked and got rained in. See, that mat traps all the moisture, and voila, you have no trunk floor. So I was thinking, oh, that almost looks like the handle of something sticking out there right here. Like the end of a wood handle. Maybe I got a free shovel or something, but what we're actually seeing here, this is actually the top of the fuel tank. I mean, that's actually the float, and you can see the pickup tube. What we're staring at through that hole is actually the bottom of the fuel tank. Now, I'm sure it's savable. I might need some JB Weld little patch kit or something, but yeah. So yeah, that's kind of cool. There really is. I thought maybe the trunk floor was really bad here. There is no trunk floor. That's the gas tank. So cool, but you can still see the Arcid. That's an idiot. You can still see the orchid gray paint right there. Lavender, really, really pretty color. And interestingly enough, our other 60 Starliner is also that color. Be interesting to know how many Starliners were actually painted that color in 1960. All right, let's take a look at the inside. The doors actually open and close pretty good. Lots of waspage. So make sure you don't touch the wife's car. Let's see here. We've definitely got some blanketage over that original seat interior. The interior color was orchid also. Definitely gonna need some reupholstering of seats. So let's see what we've got in here. Other than dead wasp carcasses, there is a glove box was open. Let's see what we've got here. This says Oroville, California. Interesting. Make Ford, $25. Cylinders 8, years sold 60. So this is from this is a registration card from 1964 in this car. Well, apparently it was in California. Harland or Pearl Maxine Fisher, Yakima, Washington. $13. See, cheaper in Washington even years later. This is 1975. Yakima, Washington. This is same thing, 1978. It was up to $16.65. That darn inflation! Paid February 1st, 1977. Expires 1978. One thing I really am interested to see, is it still there? Yes, it is. It's pitted, but the Starliner script is still on the glove box. So, this car didn't come with any keys. I do have several sets of keys. So let's see what else we find in here. That's a pad of some sort. Here is a receipt for registration. Pacific Financing. This is from, this is obviously the 0R53, so that's the Starliner. But this looks like it says 63, so that could have just been written down wrong. But this appears that this was, looks like 1962 or 3 possibly on that one. And the car was financed. Looks like in Oroville, California. So at some point it made its way to Washington. Here's another one down here on the floor. Here's another registration certificate for 1965 for Harlan Fisher. Wyandotte, Oroville, California. Here's some 1993 barrel races. Some rodeo stuff going on there. Here's some more registration tags. Harlan Fisher, Oroville, California. I'm not sure what year this one is. License number AJA 854. Probably a California black plates. State of California. Yeah, just missing the year on that one. Oh, and it's folded over there. Maybe it's still there. Oh, let's see. There's more barrel racing results. So, interesting to find history on a car. I'll notice this car has power windows, which who knows if these would work or not. They never do when I get them this old, so it would be interesting. You can see where they painted over the jams here with this blue paint. You can see you can just pretty much flake this away, and you've got the original orchid gray there in the jam. It's like somebody had stuffed a towel up in the vent. Floor-wise, actually floor pan-wise, actually looks pretty decent. It's like we've got a blanket over this seat too, but it's in pretty bad shape, I can tell. Got the Ford crest on the sills. Let's see, passenger side floorboard. Looks fairly like surface rusty, but I don't see any holes in it. I'm pretty sure we'll probably find one. No wonder it doesn't smell so bad inside. We got flower fresh. We got trees. Cool. Headliner. Left the chat. Done. Again, more of this paint just flaking away, revealing the orchid gray underneath in the jams. See, most of the glass is broken. I've got this wind wing that's still intact. Actually, both wind wings are intact, which is cool. You got a little bit of the bubbling. You can see the FOMO Co on the glass right there. But you get this delamination, this bubbling happening. That's normal. So we'll need to find side windows for it, plus one rear window over there for it as well. This is the only good window in the car other than the rear glass and the two wind wings, and still original FOMO Co stamping on that. So all in all, I mean, yeah, it needs complete and total restoration, but it's solid. It's not a bad car. Let's look at the other side. Let's see if we can get a look at the data plate. I know the door probably won't open that far. Let's see if we can get this open far enough to take a look at the data plate on it. Door still opens, which is good. The gratuitous pack of Marlboro lights in the back seat. Let's take a look at the, let's see if we got anything back here. Oh, we got a center cap. Oh, Pontiac. Pontiac, what's that doing in here? Floor-wise back here, the same. I don't really see any rot through from what I'm seeing so far. We've got two levers on the seat. Does one of them flip it forward? No, that just flips forward like normal. So I don't really know what that is. I haven't seen one of these on a Galaxie seat, because this is the one that makes it go forward and back. So if anybody knows what that is, what this one is, let me know. Unless maybe it's supposed to keep the seat from going forward. So let's take a look at the, I don't know if we're going to be able to see the data plate in there. Get these out of the way. This wind lacing out of the way. There, it kind of gives you a view of it. OR53Y, 1960, Starliner, Club Victoria. Y is the 352. The R is San Jose Assembly Plant, so it was built in California. Did not have DSOs on the data plates back then. 63A, which is a Starliner. Q, which is Orchid Gray. 39, which is Orchid Interior. 17th L. Car was scheduled for production on or about November 17th. So it was a fairly earlier build. Trans 4 3-speed Cruise-O-Matic, be the big case Cruise-O-Matic. And Axle 8, 291 rear gear. Unfortunately, I was hoping we'd have a 350 6-to-1 Equilock or something like that. Yeah, gotta love these cars. The gauges. Look at the, look like gun sights. I mean, this is all about like jet age and travel. Quite a bit of play in the steering. That's going that far and doesn't feel like it's doing anything. The dash got a little rusty. It looks some surface rust. That'll be all right. Radio's still in it, which is cool. Let's take a look at the old glove box. See if there's any. Yeah, there's a couple little chrome trinkets in there and a couple screws, but sometimes you're just hoping you find some keys in there. But no keys. So we'll have to see if any of the keys that I have in my keyage works. I'm not really seeing, I'm sure I'm going to find something, but I'm not really seeing any big holes in the floor down by the gas pedal, which is common. You can see it is a power brake car, has a power brake pedal. So this car was ordered with a couple options. Power windows, power brakes, power steering. So somebody ordered this car as a really, really cool, comfortable cruiser back in the day. Not necessarily a hot rod, but they did step up to the 352 4-barrel engine, which is cool. Cool features on these cars, like the actual little rain gutter here that actually pours off and pours onto that little trough there. All in stainless, of course. Again, mirror's gone. Looks like it used to have something there that definitely wouldn't be a factory mirror. That's definitely something aftermarket, I would believe. And looks like it had a spotlight at one point as well. Let's see if we can see the evidence of that inside the car. Yep, you can see the hole right there in the front. Where someone had common accessory back in the day. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a police car, thing like that. Antenna missing there. Looks like there's an antenna mounted on the rear quarter back there though. So let's get you a little bit closer look under the hood. All right, so let's take a look at the engine compartment. The hood springs are non-existent in this apparently, so it's just like my 60 Edsel Ranger 2-door hardtop. The hood will not stay open on its own, so I'll have to hold it up. But let's get a little bit closer look at the power plant in here. Again, this is a Y code 352. Oh, and I can tell you that one thing, that the hood is not light. So let's get a closer look up here. Basically, the hood is rusting through where all this bracing was. Looks like it was undercoated, but the undercoating did not hold. I see a plethora of mouse droppings on the intake manifold. And I should get something to prop this hood up with so we can actually take a look in here and we can get a kind of gander at what's going on here. I definitely see that mice have been chewing plug wires. So let me go see if I can get something that I can actually prop this up with. All right, now we can get a gander of what's going on in here. So a couple cool things that you can see. Let me get you over here. See, the air cleaner and valve covers were yellow on this with a black block, which I believe is the correct color for the Y code 352. I do not believe that the 2-barrel 352 had the yellow. I'm not positive on that. So, one cool thing about the power brake cars is they had this little reserve vacuum tank here. One thing we would see if this was a hypo car is we would be seeing cast iron exhaust manifolds or headers here instead of those just regular log type exhaust manifolds. So this is definitely not a hypo car, but I mean, you could still consider it a high performance car, but it wasn't a hypo car. So always get a little bit nervous about the core support on these. This one, so far looks okay. I haven't seen any holes in it, but car this year, the 65-year-old car, you're bound to find something. Battery tray gone, piece of wood over it, standard. That we can fix. Like the 63 and up cars, these cars do not have a VIN tag on the cowl. It will be down on the frame on this passenger side. I have no doubt that this VIN is original to this car. I don't see any reason why it would have been changed, but we will have to make sure that that is visible and legible to be able to go to State Patrol to get an inspection to get a title for this car. Gonna have to do a bonded title on this one. It did not come with a title. Still has its C-clear window bag there. Right here on the firewall. It's kind of cool. Somebody has put an aftermarket heater shutoff valve in that. That looks fairly recent. Like maybe one of the last things that was done on this car. So let's move the air cleaner up out of the way, and oh yeah, we got lots of rodent infestation evidence. It looks like they mostly lived under the hood and not so much in the car. So that could be a positive. Cool Ford script valve covers, not the Baldies, but you know, get some insulation that's undercoating that's fallen off the hood. Let's see, mouse have you can see this yellow wire right here. Mouse have sawed that one completely in half. Let's take a look. One good clue that I'm seeing here. You always worry that somebody swapped like a 360 truck engine into one of these or something when you get it. But right there, trying to get you in there so you can see it. There's a COAE on the intake manifold. That'd be a 1960 part engineering number. So there's a very good chance that this engine could be original in this car. Maybe it was rebuilt at some point. I have no idea. I didn't look at the odometer in the car. And again, on the firewall, you can see all the evidence of the original orchid gray paint, but I'm not seeing any rot in this core support up on the top part of it anyway, other than the inner fender on the battery tray, which is always the case. It is unfortunate that both gun sights are broken off. We'll have to see if we can source some more of those because they just look cool. No idea if this radiator's any good. Say the guy that I got this car from, who saved it from the reservation, apparently the reservation was going to crush this car. This is a gentleman that passed away who hadn't registered. I think this car was last tabbed in 1995, they said. That tab might be on the, might actually be on the license plate on the rear. We can take a look back there real quick. See if it's actually got a sticker on it. Yep, January 1995. Like I say, this car was originally brought to, looks like it was originally in California, was brought to Washington later. I have a gap between 65 and 75. These plates weren't used in 65, so it most likely would have been later. These plates, I believe, were used from 68 and up. I could be wrong. So somewhere between 68 and 75, this car ended up in Yakima, Washington. So we can kind of get it down to maybe that 68 to 75 range, because 75 is the first registration we have in the glove box from Yakima. Looks like we got the old Autolite 4100 there. I'm thinking that this will probably be completely frozen, and yep, frozen solid. We'll deep creep that too and see if we can't get that to freed up. Those throttle shafts are probably frozen solid, so I don't know if this carburetor will ever be any good, but one can always try. Again, car's been off the road for a long time, but it is time to get back on. Let's take a look at the dipstick. She's black, but she's in there. It's got oil. Again, we already know it spins over. Well, we were told it spins over. I don't have any reason not to believe them. So we could essentially try to start this thing. Let's take a look at the transmission fluid. There's fluid in there. So no idea why this car was parked. Maybe we'll find some more clues. Again, there's a lot of stuff we got to get out of the way here. Again, original generator car. There's gonna be some numbers on those heads too, but it's just too full of crap. Looks like something definitely had a huge nest back here. And down here on the frame rail is where you're gonna find those numbers for the that match the VIN tag, which is going to be what the State Patrol will want to see when they inspect this car. Like I said, this one didn't come with keys, but there weren't a lot of combinations back then. I do have a lot of Ford keys, so let's see if any of them work. First of all, this set here, no dice. Let's see what we've got in here. We got lots of Ford keys. Let's take a look. Let's see if any of them will fit. Watch, all these keys I have and none of them will work. Oh, look at that. Right there. There's our Huckleberry. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Well, that'll make things easier. Now let's see if it's the same key, because this one didn't fit. Oh, it does. So let's see if it's the same as this one here in this lock cylinder. It is. Cool. So we can take one of these keys off and we will keep it for this car. Nice. I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah. Power steering. Take a look at the odometer reading there. 10867. So I'm going to say that that's going to be 110,000 miles. Looking at the brake pedal, I don't see a lot of wear on the pedal there. A little bit towards that outer side, but still, there's no way that this is a 10,000 mile car. So that's going to conclude this video on this 1960 Ford Galaxie Starliner. You will see more of this car. It's going to get pushed back on the back burner for a little bit. We got some other stuff. We've got to finish up the 69 XL, get ready to sell that car. We've got a lot of work to do on the duct tape drags Edsel out back. We also have this 55 Fairlane to finish tuning up and getting running and preparing for cruise season. So we got a lot going on. We really want to try to fire this car. We've got some other work to do first, but make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you like, share, comment. Any ideas on what you think we should do with this car? My wife would really like to paint this back to its original color, being the orchid gray. It's a lot of money to paint these cars. They're big, but this one is probably worth it. Probably run some, I don't know, maybe some Kragers on it and a little bit take those lowering blocks out of the back and get a little bit more of a street machine stance to it. Maybe kind of a little quasi NASCAR stalker vibe. So anyway, feel free to let us know below what you think we should do with this car. It's definitely going to be sticking around for a while. This is not a flipper. We were very fortunate to be able to get this car. I want to give a big shout out to Dylan down in Grandview, Washington, who worked with me and allowed me to come pick this car up on Easter Sunday, and my wife, my very understanding wife, who also went with me to pick this car up on Easter Sunday. Couldn't do this without her. I couldn't do this without all you folks. Keep watching. More big Fords coming. God bless. Have a wonderful afternoon.